Oh boy. There we go. Now I'm gonna have to record this thing again. I record this for 38 minutes and then it stopped right there at the well. It is because something. Oh, what happened here? When this happened, and then I was trying to fix this. It is because something is chasing them. Okay, all right. Now, beloved, why are all those things are happening? Why is this issue? Why is it that every single time when you turn on the news, well, it's always some bull, it's always something. Well, the reason is Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them. And they Okay, so it stopped recording right there, and then I've been spending time yelling and then breaking down scriptures and things like that, but that thing was not recording, man. Ah, good lord. Now I'm gonna have to do the whole thing again. Boy, that's gonna be a pain in the. So anyway, I hit something with my hand. That's why I always have to check this thing if it's recording. Apparently it wasn't. So let me go ahead and do this again, man. Boy, I can't. Oh boy, man. I'm gonna have to do this again. All right. So yeah, let's play this again. Okay. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is
This
made for
village
fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised.
This village buried after a glacier collapsed in the Alps. That massive glacier carrying rocks and debris detached and came tumbling down the mountainside, destroying everything in its path. Authorities were forced to evacuate that entire village of about 300 people just south of Switzerland's capital, Bern.
Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. This is your humble servant, Big Levi, and today is Noga, May the 30th, 2025, and it's currently 3:24 p.m. Eastern Time, pre-recorded. Great glory, welcome once more. we are going to go into the videos that we have here. We have a fair amount of tab open, and today we're mostly going to look at the behavior of nature. The behavior of nature, of course, affected the behavior of human being and the celestial bodies, mostly what's going on here on the earth. And of course, we do know this is the last day, and there'll be no Jacob's trouble, just like there'll be no rapture. And those people, they have made their bed. Now, this is time for them to lie in it. Now, what you're seeing here in this village, it's called Blatten. Of course, there's a saying going around saying Blatten is flatten. Now, the Swiss Alps is very beautiful. It's over there in Switzerland, and it's very nice. Very the scenery is out of this world, breathtaking and stuff. Now, the reason why I begin with this village called Blatten, let's go look at the village. Blatten right there. There you go. Okay, well, I was gonna, yes. Blatten, meaning of Blatten. Okay. Okay, well, okay, Blatten has a lot of meaning, but okay, well, we'll look at this. The village Blatten, the Blatten got flattened and stuff like that. See if we can get a visual. Okay, that's the village right here. Then we'll go back with. I can zoom in. Excuse me. Now, as we spoke about this before, we must understand everything that happened. It happened for a reason. Even though we may not know the specific reason why it happened, but it does. This village called Blatten over there in Switzerland got flattened. Why? Well, the thing is, I'm speaking for myself and my people. We don't know exactly what those people did in this village back then. We don't know what kind of horrible and terrible things that our ancestors suffered over there that were buried. Yeah, the people never talk about this. You don't know who those group of people that live in that place that did horrible and terrible things, and yet they go hide in this village that I never heard of. I never heard of this place. I had no idea that thing even exists, but there you go. During the news, we find out that there's a place named Blatten and it got flattened. Of course, till now, they haven't reported any death or anything. They just say a 64-year-old man, 6 plus 4, you know what to do, is missing or something like that. However, they said, oh, before all that, we already did evacuated the entire village. So, we really have nothing to worry about. Everything is good. So, because that's what 83 do, They always portray themselves as somewhat superhero and God, whatever natural disaster. If you didn't see it caught on camera, then they survive it. So again, we don't know exactly what those Swiss over there, okay, did to our people, what had happened to our people during the time of the Roman Empire, when we were over there ruling the third part. We don't know if there is the mass grave over there, mass graveyard and gravesite that our people were buried, massacred and stuff. But this thing happened for many reasons. This is one of the reasons. The second one is just another way of telling those people that the blessing is over. Okay, the blessing has been taken away. The best blessing is being called and it's been taken back. Now, let's say the meaning of the word Blatten. All right. Oh, there we go. The German verb blatten translates to call or to attract. It can also mean to remove leaves or strip. In hunting, blatting refers to calling or mimicking a roebuck. The word Blatten can also be part of surnames such as Blatten, which has multiple origins and meaning. Now let's stay with the German meaning of it. Blatten, which means to call or to attract. That's the first type of meaning. Who is being calling here? Who's being attracted? Is there a call out there? Is this, of course, this is a message from our angelic being. Is this the Holy One is calling a group of people or attract a group of people? And at the same time, he's removing, it's to remove leaves or to strip. And the book of, let me go ahead and get it instead. Then again, excuse me. Then again, a group of people being called, a group of them is being attract, okay? Call or attract. Now, this is on the side that has to do with a certain group. The other side is meant to remove leaves or to strip the blessing away. Remember, this happened in the land of Switzerland. Remember, Switzerland is the safe. Well, Switzerland is the neutral, the safest, the best land. This is where all the wealth is. This is where all the elites buried their stuff. This is where CERN is. This is where they buried those nuclear rods. Switzerland is a powerful country, and the blessing is strong over there. That's where all the dictators and the drug dealers, I'm not talking about the drug dealers in the hood. I'm talking about the big pharma. I'm talking about the cartel. That's where the money at. That's where the blessing at in Switzerland, so to speak. Now it's being stripped, which is another word, that the blessing is being stripped of those people. It's being stripped out of their hands. Okay. All right, this is in hunting. Now let's go to the first one right here, to remove the leaves. Of course, which remind us with Jacob 5. Brother Big Judah has multiple lessons on that. Jacob 5. This is the Book of Mormon. Okay, the Book of Mormon, from the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saint. The Mormon. This is not the book. Okay, and of course there's reference in First Nephi, but the Book of Mormon, Jacob's 5. 65. And as they begin to grow, ye shall clear away the branches which bring forth bitter fruit. So blatten over there, or blatant, or we'll say it in German, blatten, to strip, to remove the leaves. Is it, there we go, to remove the leaves? All right, related image. Never seen this before. Okay, well, to remove the leaves, and then blatant or blatant over there. And the Book of Jacob 5. And as they begin to grow, ye shall clear away the branches which bring forth bitter fruits. Everyone, especially the Church of Mahan, the priesthood of Mahan, that are bringing bitter fruits, and the camps, and all those people that are online, and all those ones that don't want to study, okay, they are being stripped and removed, according to the strength of the good and the size thereof. And ye shall not clear away the bad thereof all at once, lest the roots thereof should be too strong for the graft, and the graft thereof shall perish, and I lose the trees of my vineyards. Technically, the Holy One said, all those one that are doing all these negative things, keep our people in low vibration, negative frequencies, and all those people that are bringing bitter fruit, they are being stripping out, but not all at once. Because if they get rid of them, boom, just like that, the tree will be unbalanced. Too much righteousness, people won't see what to compare it, and the tree will die. So it's pruning them, stripping them, removing them, blotting them. Is stripping removes the leaves and the fruits that are producing bitter fruits and things like that. Okay, all right. For it grieved me that I should lose the trees of my vineyard. Wherefore ye shall clear away the bad according as the good shall grow, that the root and the top may be equal in strength until the good shall overcome the bad, and the bad be hewn down and cast into the fire, that the cumber not be the ground of my vineyard, and thus I will sweep away the bad out of my vineyard. The vineyard is talking about the land. And what the Holy One said, if we righteousness, if the righteous briskly come on power with too much strength, we will destroy the earth. We'll destroy the land because it's too powerful. What it says here that, little by little, the bird made his nest, a few à mesure, gradually, okay, all right, we are growing. The bad are getting down. That's why you see the economy and everything is going down the tube. Well, it's already down there in the septic tank. And our people, we are slowly but gradually, surely, we are growing. Once we reach this critical point, which is, I'm assuming it is now, and everything the good will overpower the bad, and it will destroy everything, and everything will be balanced. What they are talking about here is the equilibrium. And the same thing is mentioned in the book of John, okay, chapter 15 verse 1. And again, I don't like to break down scriptures online on the public like that. It is forbidden. And in my circle, it is prohibited, it is prohibited in my circle, but to certain extension, I can do this. All right, I'm doing this because most of our people are coming to do this. Usually we do this privately. Now, when you read Jacob 5:66, it says, for it grieved me that I should lose the trees of my vineyard. All right, now in the Bible, this is the Book of Mormon. In the Bible, it says, John 15 chapter 15 verse 1 says, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. Another word, the farmer. Okay, all right. John 15:2 say, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit is purging it, that it may bring forth more fruit. This is the cross reference to the book of John. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit is taketh away the bitter one. They are being blotted, to strip, to remove the leaves, to remove the fruit, to strip them from the blessing. And hunting, the blotting refers to a calling of or mimicking a roebuck the animal. Some of you here, you already know that when we're talking about buck or the deer, we're talking about the blessing. We had multiple lessons about the deer meat venison, in the book of the Bible, the book of Genesis, where Isaac was going to die. He called his son Esau, and he wanted to give Esau the blessing because it was a traditional, when the father is passing on the blessing to the son would cook venison and deer meat unto him, and then it will do this. So the deer is a symbol of blessing. That's why the word blotting is a mimic, okay, a cry out, an imitation of the blessing, to call on the blessing, to call on the blessing. Blotting, to call or to attract the blessing, to call on. Roebuck, okay, a buck, a deer, and things like that, okay? All right, to attract, call, imitate, mimic, remove, strips, leave, and many languages and translation. All right, so this is basically, that's the meaning of this Swiss village over there where CERN at. I don't know why they couldn't use their CERN to stop this thing. I don't know why. People are like, well, CERN caused this. Yeah. The elites are using those CERN technology that they have to destroy themselves. That's what that is, that's what everybody want to push out there. People want to do this. But nonetheless, beloved, this is what it meant. Spiritually speaking, this is the this is the message that the angelic being had sent unto us, that we are being called, or others also are being called, the roebuck, the symbol of the blessing, as we see in the movie when the world turned upside down. I'm not quite sure whatever Obama produced this movie. I always forget about it. Where this boat, White Lion, and Netflix, and you do your homework. We talk about this. The blessing, the deer, the roebuck, the micmacaw is being calling. The vineyard is being pruned, is being the leaves that are producing bitter fruits, the branch that are producing bad fruit is being removed, and now things are putting into balance. This entire village is flattened. Of course, people will say, "Oh well, it's not that bad. They can clean it out. Everybody cool, gang, We're going to rebuild again." Yeah, whatever. Let's keep on moving.
The 2024 hurricane season will live in our memories for years, if not decades, to come. It will serve as a benchmark for what tropical systems can do to our beautiful Sunshine State. As forecasts continue to roll out, this next season looks to try and match the action we saw only a year ago. I'm News 6 meteorologist David Nazario, and we're taking a look at the unsung heroes, not only during a hurricane, but year-round, who bring to the table a new way to prepare. This is how our men and women of the armed forces prepare their troops and families for what Mother Nature tries to put in our path. It goes without saying the 2024 season left its mark on Central Florida. Between protecting lives and property to safeguarding our way of life, local and state officials are currently working round the clock to get us ready for what's ahead. I had the wonderful opportunity to revisit my roots with the MacDill Air Force Base weather team and to tour their base operations building. To this day, it is still left in a heavily damaged state thanks to storm surge and hurricane force winds. I also got a few testimonies from the personnel involved in operations during Helene and Milton, to include Airman Tessa Bradley, who was one of the SARM team members who had to prepare the office for impact before evacuating her and her family.
I am a resident here at MacDill. I have 2 children.
So, hurricane season is upon us. Today is the 30th. Hurricane season start, at least here in Florida, on the 1st of June. June 1st will be the hurricane season, all right? So, hurricane season last year was no joke. Woo! Tampa. Woo! Asheville. Good Lord. Hurricane last year was no joke. This is Hurricane 2025. Woo! Especially after July. We'll see. This is going to be very interesting. Remember, when it comes to storm now, there's no season. This thing happen all the time and at any time. So they are preparing, staying one step ahead. I do not know how you do this. I do not know. Oh my God, excuse me, beloved. I'm falling asleep. I'm speaking now. I'm falling asleep. So I don't want to I already forgot what I was saying. The kids been the kids been riding me, man. So it's I'm doing okay. All right. A little. All I need to is just to put a little of the water in my face. Then I'll be good. All right. Let's keep on moving. Next video. Okay, preparation for the hurricane. I don't know how they're gonna do this, but nonetheless, let's watch this.
The start of the 2025 hurricane season is nearly upon us, and here in Louisiana, we are no stranger to severe weather. That's why it is so crucial to be prepared for damage you don't think will happen to you until it does.
I said, there's a living room right here.
All I know is my child was in there, and I had to get to him.
What do we do with hard floors that's bubbling up now? Bathrooms are smelling like sewages.
Where do I start? What do I do? Who do I call? Where do I begin? I don't know what to do. Really, I just shock.
For those who have
again, this is in April 2025. That's how far this thing extended. Okay, April was not. It was like a month ago. Those people still haven't get the help that they're supposed to get to whatever that they had the issue with. Okay, this hurricane season, the weather is no joke, especially right now. The sun is all over. The flickering of the lights, the ringing in the ear, the sensation of the feeling in the hand. Yo,
Know what to do. Really, I just shock.
For those who have suffered through severe weather, it's hard to know where to turn. A lot of people immediately think FEMA, but that's not exactly how the process works.
All disasters starting in locally, so their local parish officials will be their first line to be able to offer assistance. Then they go to the state through the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, and FEMA will be supporting the state through the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness.
That's why preparation doesn't start when a storm hits. It starts early, and it starts with you.
If you live in a coastal jurisdiction or even inland, you need to be preparing yourself now for what does it look like to be without power and those things that typically happen during hurricane season, because that's really the best way for the individual to recover.
But as we head into hurricane season, FEMA's future is facing uncertainty amid ongoing talks of federal job and funding cuts under the Trump administration.
The federal government is on fiscal year, so it runs to September 30th of every year. So we are currently funded through September 30th of 2025. And then there'll be a president's budget for the fiscal year starting October 1st. We've had some reduction in our staffing, but we are looking right now at training people, making sure that we can backfill those positions that we've lost, and making sure that we'll meet the needs of the citizens here of Louisiana.
So what does this mean for you?
Most people think they have a homeowner's insurance and they don't need any other insurance. That will not cover flooding. 40% of the flooding losses that we see are from people who don't live in a special flood hazard area. And so their insurance does not cover that loss, and it really is a hard road to recovery if you're not covered by insurance. So we would encourage everybody, if your driver's license says you live in the state of Louisiana, it really is important you have flood insurance to make sure that you and your family can recover.
FEMA can help you if you don't have insurance, but officials stress that their assistance is not a replacement for a policy. In a time of crisis, don't wait to clean up, but before you do, save your receipts, take photos and videos, and document everything. And remember, FEMA is a support agency. Its resources are there to help you move forward in your recovery, not to handle everything for you. For Acadiana's News Channel, I'm Taylor Toole.
well, that's a bunch of hogwash, because FEMA, well, back then that's what FEMA was. They were supposed to handle everything for you, and that's what you people marketing FEMA as. You people were marketing FEMA as some form of savior that will come over there and resolve all your problem. Not only fix your house, but fix your life and your marriages. But now that you people really come under stress, remember back then when hits were happening to our people, you folks behave or act like you were helping us, but you weren't. Okay, we saw your true, well, the world see your true color during Asheville, which still have not recovered. Okay, it's still not fully clean. It's not. It will never recover. There are certain things that happen to you. You will never recover from this. So now, what happened is you people now are backpedaling. Okay, well, you know, we not to save you. You know, we ain't gonna handle everything for you. It's just we here as an auxiliary support and something like a plain C, you know, for you to not even lean on, for you to use as a cord just get out of this thing. We are indeed a fire extinguisher in the midst of a wildfire. You can use us to somewhat, you know, get your way out. We're not gonna put this wildfire out for you. Well, all those things you people are not telling the actual populace. That in that case, the truth. The truth is the blessing is over. We are unable to stop whatever's happening here, whether we did prepare or we don't. We have to pack up and leave and go wherever that our land is, wherever that they will allow us to go. It's not like we can go back to any land and just claiming this is our land. We will go to places that they will allow us to go because they are ruling the world now. Their power can only grow. You people are not telling the truth. Say, well, the reason why all those horrible and terrible things are happening to us with the weather down there in Louisiana, Florida, Texas, and all the other states that are prone to hurricane, it is because of the way we treat the children of the mighty one, horribly and terribly, with great atrocity and even greater indignation. You have to tell the people the truth and say, well, their fathers, their mother, their entire family, they are very mad at us now, especially. They are awakened, they are studying magic, they are studying private things. They are not listening to us anymore. They are doing their own thing, and then that's what terrifying us. And because of this, the weather's coming, the animals coming, the disease is here, everything is here, everything is there. It's a mess in itself. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do to stop this. There's nothing I personally, Big Levi, can do to slow this down or to stop this. There's nothing I personally can say that could somehow veer this off course. I do not have this type of power. Okay, hurricane season's going. This hurricane season 2025 going to be a horrible ordeal. Let's move on. Uh-oh.
Just west of the Golden Gate Bridge, a young male gray whale washed up dead in the Marin Headlands.
I saw a beautiful beach and a dead whale.
Quite the surprise for tourists hiking down the trail.
It really stank, like the smell was crazy.
A team of scientists performed a necropsy on it earlier today, but have not determined the cause of death. A staggering sight that's becoming more common this year.
The real concern is around some of the gray whales that are there in the bay right now. And those are many that are showing up here in our graph that are turning up dead.
This whale is one of 5 dead gray whales found in or close to the San Francisco Bay just in the past week. More whales are being spotted alive here too. Last year, only 4 gray whales were seen in the area. This year, there have been 33 so far.
That is the open question, the why. Why not only are there so many deceased whales in the region, but why has it been a banner year of having more sightings in San Francisco Bay of live whales than we have seen in at least 2+ decades, if ever?
Scientists are looking for the why. These gray whales migrate from the Arctic and Alaska down to Mexico and back, traveling.
So again, we explained this concerning why those whales are leaving this area. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify for those people that weren't there. Just like human being, when we are in an area where there is no food or food is scarce, we don't kill each other. We don't go ahead and jump and commit suicide for that. Okay, the first instinct for us is to leave, is to migrate. Whenever we feel or we sorry. All right, I'm awake. I'm just going in and out of this sleep. So if I go ahead and pause this and get an hour sleep, it's gonna be a disaster. This thing won't be done. But anyway, whenever we human have issue, we'll leave our land or whatever this land is, and we'll go places. We will not starting killing ourselves and suicide and killing each other because there's no food. There are many examples of this human interaction with nature, so to speak. In the good book, especially in the book of Joshua, where there was that famine that Abraham had to move out of his land to the land of Abimelech, or what the word Abimelech, what the name Abimelech mean, the great king. Abimelech was a Hamite, a great good king that did indeed take care of Abraham and provide him with everything that he needed, including give him a servant called, was that Keturah? I'm not quite sure what the name of the servant was. A Hamite woman, that become, embedded in our culture, and she served Abraham well. She did everything well. She followed our custom. She become one of us, one of our men, up until she find out that Rebecca could not get pregnant, and she was, mocking Rebecca and calling her name and tell her she's less a woman, and Rebecca beat the crap out of her, and she was the mother of Ishmael. But during that time, and many other time, even at the time of Jacob himself, when the 12 tribe, the brother were there was a great famine, a great drought, where the brethren had to go down there in Egypt to go buy grain, to go buy food, to go buy water and things like that, and they met Joseph, their little brother that was a freaking brat. Okay, Joseph was like this dude. He was a gang tutor that like to stunt on his brother and keep telling them they need to worship him because he's gonna be king. He has this gift for dream. He was marking the brothers, and Isaac, and Jacob, the father, loved Joseph because he was the child, the his child of his youth, and he was very tolerant of Joseph going over there disrespecting his brother because he's always take up for Joseph. Whatever Joseph did, it's never wrong. And Joseph was a very disrespectful brat to his brother, and that's why they had to put him in his place. That well, not them. The Most High God had to do this to Joseph and send him over there. Now, the metaphor is people always move when the land is not too good. They move. They don't kill themselves, and they don't go to a place that they know there is not that much food and then they kill themselves. For instance, let's say there is no food in the cities and then you decided you pack your hitch, you move to the Arizona desert. You move. Oh, black folk would do this, okay? Our people will do that. We'll move to the desert because we 83 say go to the desert in the book, and so we don't get me wrong. Our people are famously known to move to the desert so the elite won't kill them when they drop that bomb in the city. They have to leave. Apparently, living in the desert is living off grid. But nonetheless, most people and people in general, we don't do this. We don't go to a place that we know there's no food, and food is the scarcity of food is greater than our home. No, we'll go to a place that we know there are food. It's lush. It's good. Well, it's pretty much the same thing with the wells and the animal. This well is not beaching themselves because there is no food. They are not stupid. They are beaching themselves because something is down there. There's an issue in their homeland, and it is not great. Just like you see people are migrating from Haiti to here, and then they are saying there's a lot of gang, there's a lot of shooting, there's a war. People migrating from Ukraine and coming here because there is a war. The Russian can come here. People are coming all over because there is a war in that specific place. They can't stay here. If there ain't no war, they would have stayed. If there ain't no mess thing going on, and always back in the 80s, late 70s, late 80s, there were a lot of Haitian that used to come here in boats. A lot of them died because they risked it. There was a lot of war back then. Okay, so that means something is wrong with their homeland. Okay, like the animals, something is wrong down there. Something is chasing them. Something that is bigger than a whale is chasing this whale. A whale by nature doesn't have a predator because they are too big. You really don't want to F with them. Though they don't eat other animals, but they are very, very strong. All right, it would take a lot of orcas, and the shark don't even attack those beings because they are unmatched in strength and bluntness. Okay, well, a sperm whale is very powerful. A sperm whale can kill you without biting you. They can blow out your organ by tick your organs by sending sound wave and blasted your organs. So those whales are beaching themselves because there is something down there that are chasing them. There's an animal that is bigger than a whale, and the whale is not on top of the food chain. They become part of the food chain, and this thing is wreaking havoc and under the ocean. It's not one thing, but many of them. This is one of the main reasons. The second reason that we can point it out is though this is a horrible omen unto you 83. Okay, just like you see there are celestial signs, there are solar flares, there are eclipses and stuff, as above so below. The same thing happened in the ocean. Yea, I'm not saying there are eclipse inside at the bottom of the ocean, but the fauna and the fauna and the flora that is in the sea is shifting and changing. Okay, just like you see the weather, the more hurricane and the wildfires and all that, the wind, the tornadoes, and the behavior of the terrestrial animal, it's the same thing that going down below. I'm not quite sure if they have tornado below, but they have some form of thing that render the below unstable. And then now, because of that, those wells are bringing messages and they are coming and beach themselves. Yea, we watch a few of the videos a couple of months ago where we find the oarfish, the anglerfish, and fishes that are literally found in the depth bowel of the sea. So far, so deep down there that there is no light. However, those things are beaching themselves, beloved. They are not hungry. This is not because of food. It is because something. Oh, what happened here? Oh, I start protection. There you go. It is because something is chasing them. Okay, all right. Now, beloved, why are all those things are happening? Why is this issue? Why is it that every single time when you turn on the news, well, it's always some bull, it's always something. Well, the reason is Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them. And they So this is where this thing had stopped, and I had to redo the whole thing again. Okay, so sorry about that, and I had to do the whole thing because it stopped recorded there. My hand hit something. I was half asleep, so now let's continue this thing. Okay, so yeah, I had to redo this, replay that. It's crazy, it's crazy. So anyway, Genesis 15 verse 13, and he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. 16, 19, 20, 19. Yes, you saw it. Many of you here still remember in 2020, some people that think like 2020 was like 10,000 years ago. No, it felt like 2020 never left. That is because it never did. 2020 is a loop, and the people are caught up in it. Whatever that they do, it never works. Everything is becoming worse and worse and worse. It's been 5 years. Can't believe this. It's been 5 years. Yet, all those things are happening. Okay, so I think we're done with Matthew. We're done with John. We're done with the Book of Mormon. We're done with the blatant. Whoops.
Breaking news in Suffolk County, a man's body found inside a garbage truck.
All right, we're gonna stop right here, right there. So, and that's why you're seeing all those things are happening and in the world, and there is nothing 83 can do to either stop it or even slow it down, because this is prophecy. You folks have done horrible things to our people, the Inquisition, the child of slavery. You tell our people they don't deserve reparation, you ain't gonna give it to them anyway. You did all those stuff, and then you just sit there and then claiming that, okay, well, you're going to be raptured, you're going to go somewhere, and while our people are going to sit there and make sure they suffer another the 400 years of hell, another 7 years of hell, because the mark of the beast and the chip going to come, all those garbages that you're being bringing out there, none of it will happen. Okay, and again, I really like this quote that Brother Kimbo brought to us, that if you get involved with a person, if you get involved with a delusional person, this delusional person can trap you in their delusion. So you don't get involved with them. All right, you don't get involved with them. You let those people out there get involved in their Jacob's trouble delusion. And some of them, is a fetish to them. They love that. They would love to see their own children getting raped, and our women and men getting raped and robbed again, as if we are not getting raped and robbed by those people. But nonetheless, beloved, the reason why we are saying this, because we are in Genesis 15 verse 14 now. And also, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Okay, the nation being judged, as you can see, by the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. Fiery conflagration is pretty much everywhere. Okay, these things that happen over there in Switzerland is pretty much on the weather side, the thunder voices and the destroying earthquake. It was really loud and felt like it was an earthquake. And yeah, that's what happened. Still a little sleepy, but I'm getting there. Okay, so yeah, now let's keep on moving with the video.
past California. From 2019 to 2023, around 45% of their population died off. Back then, scientists
45%. You know what to do.
found climate change disrupted their food supply in the Arctic, leaving them undersupplied by the time they passed San Francisco.
Okay, the food supply and the Arctic. You people are acting as if there is no freaking fish there. Have you found it strange that those things are dying? Well, those animals, they are dying. They are beaching themselves, and they are coming from the Arctic and the Antarctica. Remember, a lot of them that came from Antarctica landed in Australia. Have you not seen those two poles? Based on our research, we find out that the glaciers or the pole just recently been frozen. They weren't there millions of years or thousands of years ago that just your scientists to try to prove or trying to force on people. Those things, it's not even 100 years old. These places weren't frozen 100 years ago. They weren't. In the 1800, it wasn't. Late 1800, it wasn't. Okay, this thing recently got frozen. That's why they had to send Admiral Byrd over there to see why did it freeze. Okay, they recently got frozen, not 100 of millions of years over a period of time. That's why it's being thawed out really, really fast. Okay,
They're running low on gas, coming into the bay, searching for food, and many are starving.
The Marine Mammal Center says something similar may be happening again. While researchers race to get answers, the public is encouraged to report any whale sightings to the Marine Mammal Center or the Whale Alert app. The gray whales are expected to be in the region for another week or two as they continue their long journey north. In San Francisco, Alyssa Gord, NBC, Bay Area News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
Those people acting like, the odds dying of starvation. Okay, well, who's eating all those fish down there? You people are saying like those things are dying of starvation. Yet you see, okay, let's see what the diet of a whale. What does a whale eat? Whale diet varied depending on species. Some whales, like blue whales, primarily eat tiny crustaceans called krill, while others, like killer whales, orcas, are apex predators that consume a diverse range of prey, including fish, squid, sharks, seals, and even other whales. Okay. What was that? The type of whale they find there. What was it? What is this? That's a sperm whale? It looked like a sperm whale.
Just west of the Golden Gate Bridge, a young...
Whoa, hang on.
Just west of the Golden Gate Bridge, a young male gray whale washed up dead in the...
Okay, gray whale. What does a gray whale eat? Okay, gray whales primarily eat bottom-dwelling creatures like amphipods and other small invertebrates that live in the sediment of the ocean floor. They also consume squid, krill, ghost shrimp, and crab larvae during the migration. Okay, krill. Okay, well, meant to say krill. Okay, krills like shrimp. They are small. You people are acting as if there is no. Those things are not abundant in the ocean. Krills are small shrimp-like marine crustaceans that play a vital role in the ocean ecosystem, particularly in its southern ocean. They are a primary food source for many marine animals, including whales, seals, penguins, and various fish species. Krill are also increasingly used in human dietary supplement and aquaculture. You got krill or shrimp fishing or shrimp boat fishing. You people are pretending that things like that.
Shrimp fishing.
Okay. For instance, Amazing catch hundreds of tons of shrimp without modern boat shrimp fishing and process sea. Okay, people are acting like people are acting as if things like that don't happen. Men are above the sea. Okay, reeling a bunch of shrimp. You guys are acting like things like that are not happening. There is no shrimp in the sea. They are so hard to catch. They are so elusive, and then they are catching hundreds of tons of those things because they are very abundant in the sea. Okay, they are very abundant in there. So you guys are acting like they don't have food in there. Well, there are plenty. There are plenty of it. Okay, all right. And then they are removing the little fishes and things like that. There are a lot of those things there, a lot of them. Okay, there are plenty of those things. I guess they are cleaning them. I'm not quite sure what that is, but there are plenty of them in the ocean. That's not what that is. They are not hungry. Crustacean crabs, crab fishing on huge boat. Crab fishing. Okay, you people. Now this look like AI. It is AI. Those are AI. Most of the stuff. This is not AI. Let me see.
4.5 million pounds of king crab were pulled in by Alaskan fishermen in 2022, a total value of $43 million. Let's explore the process.
People acting that there's no more crabs in the sea. The human can find them, but the whales are too stupid to find them.
Behind catching these particular crabs, known as bycatch. The pots or traps are like large cages, often made of metal or mesh, and are baited with fish or other attractants to lure.
Anyway, let's keep on moving. This is Manibota, California. Okay, this happened May 29th, yesterday. Okay, wildfire.
Manitoba was thrust into crisis as it declared a state of emergency in response to a wildfire outbreak of historic scale.
Okay, they still don't know what causing those wildfire, and they are pretty much everywhere. Let's keep on moving.
Another breaking news update. The suspect in a mass shooting over Memorial Day weekend in South Carolina has been arrested in Illinois.
Authorities tracked the suspect to Lake County. Our Charlie DeMar is here with what he's learned about the 19-year-old's ties to the area. Charlie.
And Joe and Erica, the 19-year-old wanted on attempted murder charges in South Carolina was arrested by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, or NCIS, and booked into the Lake County Jail. The Navy sailor is assigned to the Naval Station Great Lakes.
The Naval Station Great Lakes in North Chicago, the Navy's largest training installation, is where 19-year-old Shawan Shamarian Williams was arrested Thursday afternoon on a warrant for assault and attempted murder in South Carolina. Cell phone video shows the chaotic shooting scene from Memorial Day weekend. 10 people were shot as they got off a boat in Little River, a community near the North Carolina border.
We got shot coming off the boat. We were on the pier.
Jeremy Evans was shot in his leg. He posted this video of his recovery and responded to Thursday's arrest by saying, "Justice for us all."
When I got hit, I took my shorts off and I wrapped it around my wound. We were involved in a mass shooting. 10 of us got sprayed on this deck.
Police say a private charter boat had just docked when an argument led to the shooting.
He started shooting and running backwards.
Back in Lake County, Williams was taken into custody by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, or NCIS. The Navy says the 19-year-old was a hull maintenance technician seaman assigned to Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command, Great Lakes. Police in South Carolina say Williams is expected to be charged with multiple counts of attempted murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and more arrests are possible.
And Williams was booked into the Lake County Jail on a fugitive of justice charge. He will appear in court Friday morning, where the extradition process is expected to begin. Live in the newsroom, Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Chicago. Erica?
Okay, now the reason why I bought this in, it's because, again, you're seeing the Navy, you know, Illinois naval thing, the Navy, the Mexican Navy accident. Okay, 10 days ago this happened. All right, remember that? U.S. Navy lost airplane fighter jet. Okay, this happened.
In developing news, the Pentagon loses another $70 million fighter jet in the Red Sea. Happened as the fight against Iranian-linked militants heats up. Fox
Navy, that was 3 weeks ago. Okay, about a month ago, they had lost another thing. Okay, all right. Airplane crash in Navy neighborhood, California. Okay.
We begin tonight with the deadly plane crash right into a neighborhood in San Diego, taking off from Teterboro Airport in New Jersey, outside New York City, flying across the country and then crashing while trying to land in fog in San Diego. The plane crashing right into one of the U.S. military's largest housing neighborhoods just before 4 a.m. this morning, when families were asleep. Officials say as many as 6 people on board are feared dead tonight, homes and cars set on fire, and you could barely make out the jet. Families awakened by the explosion, running to safety with their children in their arms, some trapped in their homes by flames right at their door. Firefighters battling to put out the flames and trying to protect homes there. The horrific scene today when the sun came up. This home badly damaged, a truck burned right in the front yard. A dozen other homes damaged, about 100 people evacuated. The mangled wreckage lining the street. The fatalities were all on the plane, and remarkably, no one on the ground was killed, even with homes and cars on fire. Tonight, the investigation here and what we're learning about who was on board that jet, and one of the last questions from the pilot before it went down. ABC's Trevor Ault leading us off. He's on the scene in San Diego.
Come on, let's go! Let's go! Go! Tonight, the terrifying escape in the dead of night after a small plane slammed into the San Diego neighborhood. At least 6 people on board feared dead. More than a dozen homes and cars set ablaze. Ben and Trajana McCarty rocked awake.
All I could see was fire, and the roof of the house was torn
You
off.
could see the night sky from our living room.
Their neighbor Gilbert Gonzalez rushing to help as the McCarty family grabbed their children and pets.
Hey, we gotta be careful. There's things still explosive. As I walked up, there was a kid getting, brought over the fence. It was handed down to me. I said, give me the kid. And then a second kid came down. So I'm holding 2 kids at the time.
The family rushing to safety, fearing their neighbors were still asleep.
Not awake yet!
It's okay.
They're not awake!
Cars exploding, shaking the block. Jessica Schrader described.
So another Navy, and then you have this that happened. Let me see. And you got this that happened. This happened 12 hours ago, okay, in Korea. A naval, okay, let me see if I can see. Oh, okay, well, they didn't put. I think, but it's a Navy thing. They made it. They made a thing about it. Alright. Well, let's see if we can find the actual one where they had commentary in there. Is that this one right here? Yes, this one. A South Korean Navy, okay?
아예 뭐가 떠다는겨? 할게. 밀고 있어요. 지금 다 같이 협조 좀 해주.
Alright, the Korean Navy operates a total of 16 P3, but nonetheless, you are seeing the navies are being taken down. Well, what is that? What does that mean? Well, in 1492, you people use your navy to get here. Oh well, Christopher Columbus, the expedition was not a military one. Yes, indeed it was. Yes, it was. And you use your navy to get to our land, and the only one is taking your navy both below and up. All right, those airplane crashes are happening all the time, and it's more. Those are huge plane, and they don't tell people how many people that were on this plane right here. Let me see, right there. Okay, this is a huge plane. They'll say, oh well, it was the pilot going for, you know, a night ride just to clear his head out, you know, things like that. But whatever. Let's keep on moving.
Who are visiting the United States this year.
So a research note from Tourism Economics, which is part of Oxford Economics, says international arrivals to the U.S. are expected to fall about 9% this year. That drop is fueled by negative perceptions about recent changes to immigration policies here in America, pushing many tourists to look elsewhere. Add it all up, spending from foreign tourists expected to fall $8.5 billion this year compared to last year.
For more on this and Might Matters, let's bring in Katie Nastro. She's the spokesperson for Going. Katie, good morning. So immigration reform, as Joe just mentioned, part of the issue, but what else is behind the drop in international tourists coming here to the U.S.?
Yeah, look, Savannah, there isn't one singular reason why we're seeing a decrease in international inbound tourism, but rather a combination of factors, such as strained international relations due to tariffs, leaving people feeling unsure about the broader global economy moving forward, worrying perceptions based on reports of detentions at U.S. borders, a stronger dollar in recent years compared to specific economies, as well as, some general negative sentiment, specifically looking at places like Canada after some of the recent administration's remarks earlier in the year. You mix that all up, and it really is a recipe for less international travelers from key markets that we're seeing.
Okay, let me go ahead and clarify some of these things those people try to bring and try to make it seems that, well, the reason why, there are few tourists and things because of the tariff and because of what Trump is doing. You people are acting as if nobody didn't see this coming, or whoever is in this administration is a bunch of idiots. They don't know what they are doing. They are damn well aware of the tariff, if they put it, how it's going to affect it, everything. They do this because the blessing is over. They do this because they want to put the face out there saying, hey, we are destroying ourselves. Hey, excuse me, we are the one who are doing this. We are in control. No, you're not. No, you're not. You guys still acting as if the ships, the cargo ships, still can get here. You guys are acting out. You getting all the stuff. Well, not getting things here, taking things out of here, but you can't. You can't. You just everything you are doing is based on acting. Another word, fakery. Okay, fakery. This is all fake. All right, let's keep on moving.
So tell us more about why this matters. I mean, we threw out that $8.5 billion. That could be the money lost in tourism dollars this year. I mean, how big of an impact would that have on the American economy?
Yeah, look, Joe, the U.S. Travel Association projections are stating that if this trend continues, we could see travel-related revenue down or cost us $21 billion. However, there is an asterisk there. If this trend continues, we still have another half of the year to get through, as well as two of our very busy seasons when it comes to travel. You have the summer, as well as the winter holidays. As well as you might find that with the dollar starting to weaken against other currencies, we could see people traveling more domestically this year. Preliminary going data is showing, based off of travelers surveyed, that while there is a healthy amount of people that are traveling internationally, there is also just about equally amount of people traveling domestically. So it could suggest that, people may shift their plans if they haven't booked any travel yet away from international travel and stay locally. And that could help make up that divide. Could help.
Broader than that.
Well, again, you guys are acting out as if this thing you are somewhat in control. Oh, we choose to lose $21 billion. Yeah.
And now at 10, another massive boat fire, this time on the shore near Port Everglades. Now you can see a man jumping out and swimming to save himself from the flames. This comes only 2 days after another boat exploded just minutes away, leaving 11 people injured, many of them still in the hospital. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister is at the scene in Fort Lauderdale.
A charred boat sits on the edge of the water in Fort Lauderdale, a reminder of the aftermath from Wednesday morning. Plumes of smoke and a massive fireball erupted on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Only in Broward, capturing black clouds and flames billowing from the boat. Wednesday night, a charred structure is all that remains.
Smoke carried. So again, let me see if I can do this right quick here.
Word capturing black clouds and flames.
You can see this word
billowing.
This word and this boat right here, okay? And for those of you who may know, and you can see it there. And I'm not making this up. That's what it is. Magica.
From the boat. Wednesday night, a charred structure is all that remains.
Smoke carried at least 30, 40 feet up and kept on going. The flames were as equal.
Those who live nearby recalling the moment they saw the blaze.
This boat was totally inflamed, engulfed in flame.
Someone on the shore capturing the moment a man swam to safety as the boat burned. This incident coming less than 48 hours after another boat exploded in Fort Lauderdale, leaving 11 people hurt, including 2 kids.
This one is still under investigation. However, there has been a recent trend of boat explosions due to gas buildup with the engine starting.
That sentiment is shared by Captain Cole Sisler, who captured Monday's explosion on camera.
What happens, unfortunately, with these boats is, especially during fueling or any kind of mechanical issues, the gasoline vapors, from the carburetor, fuel vents, whatever, will billow in the engine compartment.
As officials investigate what caused the fires, boating experts like Captain Chris Pasquale offers this advice to those going out on the water.
Just make sure if you're able to open up any hatches or windows and allow some fresh air to come in, that's your best.
Yeah, it's just like everywhere is terrible sign for you people. Your magic is being burned down. Our magic is being reborn. You guys are done. That's what that is. Let's keep on moving.
The shocking discovery on Long Island on this Memorial Day. A man uncovering his pool for the season found a body floating in the pool.
And neighbors we've talked to have a theory about the body's identity and how it got there. News 4's Greg Sergel live in East Shoreham with more. Greg?
Well, Gus, it's only a possibility right now, but that strange discovery on this East Shoreham street yesterday may well resolve a mystery that's prompted questions in this community for roughly 6 months.
Complainant states a deceased male in the pool.
Sunday's 911 call came after a surprising discovery. An East Shoreham homeowner was opening his pool for the summer, pulled back the cover, and found a man's dead body.
That's something like just so disturbing. You take your pool cover off, and I mean, what if there was young children around or the poor family?
Neighbor Sharon Healy's surprise was echoed by others in a community where backyard pools are common.
I really wouldn't be happy opening my pool to find that.
Peter Gorella couldn't figure out why someone would be under a pool cover. Suffolk's medical examiner is now trying to answer that question by identifying the man and determining how he died. And Suffolk police are looking into the possibility the body is that of 23-year-old fugitive Matthew Zoll. Police believe last November, Zoll stabbed his 61-year-old father to death at their Rocky Point home not far from East Shoreham. Zoll then went on the run from police and hasn't been seen since.
It was very strange. We were talking about that at work. We all thought he just left town. They got on a train or a bus.
Healy recalls police searching this very area for Zoll for several weeks last year. This discovery may answer the many questions about an incident that left some in this community on edge.
We were a little nervous, but a lot of people were saying the same thing, that he's a young kid and it was maybe just domestic dispute.
Right now, a spokesperson for the Suffolk Police Department says it appears the medical examiner's office won't release any of its findings until at least tomorrow. We're live in East Shoreham. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
So, what happened? You got this young kid.
The man's dead body. Man, and determining how he died. And Suffolk police are looking into the possibility the body is that of 23-year-old fugitive Matthew Zoll.
So you got this 23-year-old boy, Matthew Zoll, and he murdered his own father. Last year, he stabbed him to death. What had happened is they had a disagreement, okay? And those dudes, they were raised to believe that they are on top of the food chain and everything is owed to them. They don't need to work and do anything, and they will live with their parents. And if you tell them to get a job or try to do something productive or whatever that is, it ain't gonna work for you. They will kill you. And we were lucky that he only killed his father. He didn't get a gun and go around and start shooting everyone because he is mad at society. Society don't suck on my ass anymore. Society don't do things that I want them to do. Women are not spreading ego for me. That's why we men start dating women. The whole complaining dudes online talking about this thing. Those are these dudes. So he stabbed his father to death. Okay, then he fled. What happened is he got into that happened in November, okay, and he was hiding and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, when the police was hiding for seeking him, he saw this pool that was covered. Keep in mind, this is the winter, so when he go in there and then he jump in the water under the cover, try to hide from the police, what the police was seeking and stuff like that. They couldn't find him. But hypothermia, settled real quick. Hypothermia, it got too cold and then it passed out quickly. Okay, the water's too cold. And while he passed out, he died in there. He'd probably die around like the same November, okay? Now he spent December, January, and frozen in there. and his body frozen all the way up to, I'll say, April, when things start to thaws out, and then the heat cook up his body and he's swelling up and things like that. When the homeowner came back, probably they were in Florida for the whole winter things. Those rich folks do that. They go to the Caribbean or somewhere down south and enjoy the weather. And after that, when the summer is about to kick in, they go back north. So when the people go back north to do things, and they uncover the pool and they see the dead body. The thing is, like, they could not 100% identify the fellow because the body was badly decompose. So they had to do tests and find out, oh, this is him. Now, again, this is another things like that. People don't know how often when those things are happening in those rich areas. This is one of them that they actually put in the news. Usually they won't do that, okay? They won't put that in the news. But just to let you know, man, things are not doing too well with those young white boys out there, man. You know, they are killing their parents, they are killing themselves, they are killing their entire family. And you got a bunch of people that are killing their entire family. You know, they get angry, you know, and things like that, and then they just kill everyone. For instance, this one.
Believe it's a double murder suicide. They say a man shot and killed his wife before driving to another location to shoot and kill his girlfriend. Then he turned the gun on himself. Fox 5's Eric Mock is live from the scene of the first murder that's on Morris Street there in Dalton. Eric, walk us through this tragic event.
Eric, really very tragic. You know, we're learning from police that they actually responded to the Murray Avenue apartments yesterday evening around 6 p.m. because the woman who lived here, her co-workers, called police. They were worried because she hadn't shown up to work for several days. And when police got inside her apartment, they unfortunately found her dead with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. Now, detectives then looked through surveillance video from the apartment complex and saw a suspect leaving her apartment on Wednesday evening. They tracked that suspect's vehicle to an apartment complex on Shadow Lane. That's about 3 miles away from here. Now, while waiting for a search warrant to go in there, police say the father of the second victim actually showed up to the apartment to check on his daughter. And when he went inside, he discovered her and another man dead inside. Investigators believe the man shot the woman there as well before shooting himself. Now, police say at this time they believe the suspect was married to the first victim and the second victim was his girlfriend. So 3 people now dead because of this murder-suicide. Police have not released any any identities of the 3 victims, the 2 victims and the suspect yet. So we're still waiting for those. And again, this is a developing story, so there's a lot more details to come, and we will bring you them as soon as we have them. For now, reporting live in Dalton, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, just breaks your heart.
Excuse me. This was 4 days ago. Let's see if we have any. Oops. If we have any updates. Let's see if you have any update here. Okay, there's a tornado somewhere. Okay, well, I don't see any update. Should be there. More wildfires in North Carolina. There's a wildfire in Carolina again. 2 days. Oh, Kool and the Gang member dies. One of the Kool and the Gang. I remember not too long ago, I was in the theater. I always wanted the Kool and the Gang show. I don't really see anything there. I don't really see anything. So, well, people are killing people and people are dying. Horrible.
First here at 6, a Ruskin neighborhood is calling for change following a deadly crash last night. 4 people were killed when the car they were in hit a home and then rolled into another neighbor's yard. While the details of what led up to the collision are limited, neighbors say it is fueling their ongoing effort for more safety measures. They gave our Kylie Jones surveillance video of the crash to show the gravity of the situation there, and we want to warn you, you may find some of it difficult to watch.
Well, that car barreled through the front yards of these 2 homes behind me, and neighbors say this scene is the tragic result of a long-standing problem on their road.
I think this is what it's going to take, and it's unfortunate that it had to come to this.
Mark Larson walks us through what happened as a car came around the bend Sunday night around 8:15 in his Ruskin neighborhood. This home security video shows just how quickly the car flies off the road near West Shell Point Road and 32nd Street Northwest.
It came through where you see the caution tape, and then the car struck this tree and then hit the house.
And continued to tumble towards his house.
It hit my wife's car, went through there, and then hit the light post, and that's where it laid to rest.
We blurred the video here because of its graphic nature. Deputies said 4 adults were in the car and found dead at the scene. What's left of the wreckage is still scattered in the front yards.
There's people all over this place at 8 o'clock. How there wasn't anybody on the streets at 8 o'clock? I mean, it's remarkable.
The sheriff's office hasn't released details on what caused the crash, but Larson says sadly, this road is a problem spot.
Speeding and crashes, and it's crazy. We've been through a lot in this community. We had to tear our house down because of Hurricane Milton and Helene.
He says they've taken their concerns about speeding and traffic safety over the years to the county.
We've been denied several times from the county trying to get some relief at this intersection.
Larson shared an email he got from the county earlier this year in response to his request for a speed study. In it, Public Works officials said a speed study found that there's not an excessive speeding issue in the area.
That is because there isn't. That is because there isn't no excessive speed. People think those folks are actually speeding. They're not. Not even the people think they're speeding. It's just, well, again, I really don't talk about the ley line, not that much anymore. But yes, that's what that is. Okay, the ley line is taking those people out. Okay, you got 4 people in the car, all 4 of them dead. Okay, watch this one right there.
You're stupid! Yeah, you're not going anywhere! No! Y'all stay here!
No te metas tú. No me
¡No se vayan! ¡No mames! ¡No se vayan!
Okay, see, this is the woman that hit with one of those wave runner or jet ski, just hit the young lady on the kayak and kill her. Okay, and that guy tried to hold her down because he killed her. And she fled. She's like, you ain't gonna go nowhere. You murdered that kid. You murdered that girl. And you see the simps, those dudes over there trying to cover for her. And they are illegal immigrants. Where they get the money to buy those expensive jet skis? I don't know. You tell me. her. She killed the dude. She's an illegal Venezuelan immigrant. Both of them. Okay, she fled. The guy in the red shirt is like, yo, you ain't gonna get out of here. Her friends fled, but the dude like, yo, you ain't gonna get out of here. You're gonna stay here because you murdered this kid and you ain't gonna flee. Okay, so people are dying, people are killing people, car accident and things like that.
Breaking news in Suffolk County, a man's body found inside a garbage truck right outside a middle school.
And police say another man was also in the truck and is now in the hospital. Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager live in Kings Park with the latest. Stacey.
Well, Dave, we are at this middle school in Kings Park, a middle school that remains open today despite this pretty disturbing discovery. 2 people were found in a garbage truck. One of them was dead. The people were first noticed as the garbage was being transferred from a dumpster at this school this morning. But this was not where it all began. It was certainly a bizarre sight here in Kings Park as middle schoolers began their day. The William Rogers Middle School on Old Dock Road, where the garbage was being picked up and someone noticed that in the dump truck there were 2 people. Apparently 2 men who had been sleeping in a dumpster at a prior pickup in Comac, and one of them was still alive. He suffered a leg injury and was taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, they determined here that the other man had died. The superintendent at the Kings Park Central School District trying to reassure parents by issuing this statement saying, quote, "We understand the sight of emergency vehicles may cause concern. There is no threat to the safety of students, faculty, or staff," as workers continue to comb through garbage, doing a thorough investigation. Yeah, and once again, authorities believed this happened at a prior location where garbage was picked up. That was in Comac on Veterans Memorial Highway. They believe these 2 men were somehow sleeping in the dumpster. That is how this all occurred. But the discovery was made outside this middle school this morning, which remains open at this time. The person who suffered the leg injury, he was taken to Huntington Hospital where he is being treated for that injury. We're live in Kings Park. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So yeah, you got those 2 people, they got into this bin and one of them died, one of them got injured, horrible, terrible things are happening out there, man. Horrible things,
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 9:30 on the East Coast and 6:30 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here to bring you all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. I do want to take you out to this post from WSVN. They are the Fox affiliate over in Miami and Fort-Lauderdale, Florida. They say right now that police have detained 40 Chinese migrants after they were discovered in the back of 2 separate vans in Coral Gables, Florida. The bust happened at Old Cutler Road and Kendall Drive. That was around 8:30 a.m. local time, so about an hour ago. It's unclear, they say, if a traffic stop led to the discovery or if authorities had prior knowledge of the migrants' whereabouts. 7 Sky Force, their helicopter there, did hover above the scene where police cruisers blocked in the white van that was transporting the migrants. We are working to get some of that video for you from WSVN. Trees are obstructing the aerial view, but several people were seen sitting on the side of the road awaiting further instructions from law enforcement.
So, what the hell going on with the Chinese lately?
We are back with bone-chilling video of a Chinese paraglider who narrowly escaped death after reaching an altitude of more than 8,000 feet without oxygen. You can see the paraglider was covered from head to toe in ice. Whoa. The paraglider claims he lost control after he jumped from a mountain spot roughly more than 9,000 feet above sea level. He says he was then dragged into a cloud vortex. Thankfully, he survived and was able to stick a safe landing.
This dude went straight into a vortex, straight into a portal, teleported, things like that, So, Yeah.
Thank you, President Trump. This week there was a video on board a plane that showed the First Lady of France slapping her husband, Emmanuel Macron. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice on phones?
Make sure the door remains closed. That was not good. That was not good. No, I spoke to him, and he's fine. They're fine. They're two really good people. I know them very well, and I don't know what that was all about, but I know them very well, and they're fine.
What do you think about this Democratic Party plan to avoid being swept in every battleground state again by spending 20?
So there you go, Macron getting slapped, and unfortunately I have to leave. It's already 1:30. Macron getting slapped, Blatten getting flattened, pruned. Those people are being removed from the land. Wherever you look, however you put it, this is bad, and of course for a very specific group of people. All I can tell my people is be at peace. There'll be no Jacob's trouble. Do the best that you can. I will leave you with peace. I will leave you with love. I say shalom.